But that leads us to why Chet doesn't make sense. It comes down to the cost, right? Chet Holmgren's extension is about to kick in, and that's a $41.5 million extension for 5 years that ends up being $54 million. Now, the thing is, Chet fits the age range in that. He fits that. But what is the cost that it's going to take? Because, of this, I've been talking so far like the Bulls keeping the number 4 overall pick, and that is where this gets tough. I'm not moving number 4 in this draft for Chet Holmgren. You know why? Because the Bulls are more than one piece away. And that's what this ultimately comes down to, is that if you were one piece away and you got Chet Holmgren and boom, you are a perennial a contender, you do that move any day of the week. But the Bulls are still on the ground floor of this. And adding Chet Holmgren to the Bulls, while it does solve a lot of the defensive woes that the Chicago Bulls does have, Chet, as we just talked about, and as we saw in the playoffs, he's not the go. The Bulls still need their number 1. They need their star. And that's not a knock to Josh Giddey or Modest Buzelis, but neither one has turned themselves into a star that you look at and you say, you are a championship contender by those guys being the number 1 players on your team. We don't have that. They're players that you can build with. They're players that I think are damn good, and I think that some people underrate them and how good they could be. I definitely think that, but they haven't shown that to this degree. Adding Chet to this team would absolutely raise the ceiling and the floor, but how much would it really raise that ceiling is what you have to ask for that, right? And so that's the question when it comes down to, you have to be careful in this one, right? And the OKC Thunder, we already know they're very opportunistic. That's how they got the draft picks that they got. They're probably not trading Chet Holmgren to the Chicago Bulls if it's not for the number 4 overall pick, because guess what? If they're trading Chet, that means that they are going star hunting, whether that stars via they feel it's Cam Boozer at number 4, or they feel it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, which I talked about that over on NBA Central, right? So it doesn't make sense for that reason. Oklahoma isn't trading Chet Holmgren because he's bad. And despite what some knee-jerky fans would have you, one bad series that he had against the San Antonio Spurs, and make no mistake about it, it was horrible. He didn't show up the way that they need to. It doesn't make him a bad player, because guess what? They wouldn't have gotten to where they got to where they got if it wasn't for Chet Holmgren as well. They wouldn't have been the team that they were this season if it wasn't for Chet Holmgren. But he faltered in the light, and now people are looking at him mad funny in the light, and that's a reality of it, right? They're only, in my personal opinion, the OKC Thunder are only trading Chet Holmgren if they can feel they can land a star, combined with the financial concerns of the second tax apron, and they believe a player is a more natural, better fit for what they want to do. And those things sound like Cam Boozer. And I'll tell you what, maybe this is me selfishly, but if the Oklahoma City Thunder are so enamored by Cam Boozer to where they are willing to trade Chet Holmgren for him, it makes me want to keep the 4th overall pick and potentially draft Cam Boozer even more. Now,